to lead the evidence. Babalondenze reports.
During its last two meetings, the ad hoc committee has failed to adopt its terms of reference, with proceedings riddled with disagreements and attacks on Parliament's legal advisers. Parties also opposed a proposal by the ANC to only utilize Parliament's legal team instead of an external counsel to save costs. They accused the legislature's legal team of not having the capacity to handle the work, with some labeling them incompetent. But Parliament spokesperson Moloto Mothapo says Speaker Tokoti Diza has full confidence in the team.
The Speaker of the National Assembly wishes to place on the record her full confidence in Parliament's legal advisers in response to the certain views expressed in the proceedings of the ad hoc committee that is underway.
Mothapo says Parliament's legal advisers are not merely administrative staff members of Parliament, but are officers of the court, guided by the Legal Practice Act and Legal Practice Council. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Some Soweto residents attending the G20 Summit Awareness Program today have accused government of only addressing long-standing issues for the upcoming summit and not for the benefit of South Africans. The Gauteng government is holding an engagement session in Diepkloof, Soweto about the summit, which will host dignitaries from different countries. Officials say progress has been made to ensure that delegates find a pristine version of South Africa in November. Ntokozo Khumalo has more.
Community members gathered at the Diepkloof Community Hall say they are ready to fully engage with government. Many have shared some of their frustrations over what they describe as a lack of essential services. Some have even accused the government of caring about fixing the province to present a false image of what Gauteng truly looks like. Regional chairperson of the South African Teachers Union, Thulani Ngobo.
How is it that we are always cleaning our house when we're getting visitors? And when no one is visiting us, the government doesn't care. It's business as usual. So you are actually wanting to paint a false picture to the world that you care about your citizens when you don't.
Community members have also called on government to include communities in the G20 summit to empower them economically. Ntokozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Soweto.
In the courts now, the man convicted of killing a witness outside the Wynberg Magistrates Court in the Western Cape more than 2 years ago has been sentenced to life in prison. Mandisi Mofu was found guilty of shooting Christine Gumira while she walked out of the court building in May of 2023. Mofu's co-conspirators, Lukhanyo Mene and Vuminkosi Vumani, have both been handed 15-year prison terms. Gumira was a murder accused that turned state witness at the time of her murder. To this now, police have destroyed drugs and unregistered medicine worth more than 420 million rand in Gauteng. In the past 3 years, police have destroyed almost 5.3 billion rand worth of drugs, including mandrax, cocaine and heroin. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says the move sends a strong message that illegal drug trade will not be tolerated in the country. Mongezi Koko reports.
The operation, which is currently underway, is being kept under strict security to protect the location and the officials involved. Today's consignment includes substances which were hidden in truck compartments, drugs intercepted at airports, and factory material used to produce mandrax on a mass scale. Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says destroying the seized stock is part of the national strategy to cut supply and break the backs of gangs and criminal syndicates.
We have mandrax worth 285, cocaine to the value of 6 million. Each of these tells a story, the story of criminal syndicates stopped in their tracks.
Police have hailed the operation as a success, vowing to continue the work. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
And in the U.S., authorities are on high alert in parts of the East Coast as Hurricane Erin soaks parts of the coastal North Carolina. North Carolina's Outer Banks are the worst affected, with authorities closing a key highway on the barrier islands. The National Hurricane Center says weakening is likely to begin by tomorrow, but Erin is forecast to remain a hurricane into the weekend. Some beaches remain closed as Hurricane Erin threatens rip currents from Florida to New New England. Gold is trading at $3,338.97 an ounce. The rand is at 17.70 to the dollar, 23.85 to the pound, 20.63 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.84 a barrel.
Heading in and out of the Joburg CBD, traffic remains heavily backed up. This is on Main Reef Road between Production and Anderson Street. Also heading into Bedfordview, expect some delays in Edenville. This is on the R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Kilulis interchange.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. National Assembly Speaker Togo Dudiza has come to the defense of Parliament's legal advisers who've come under heavy criticism from members of the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is not just a click. It's a thank you, a nod, a way of saying we see you. Vote for your favorite local business now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Hello, 702 landers and those of you tuning in from Cape Talk territory. I'm Jane Dutton. It's good to be back with you. I'm standing in for Relebogile Mabotja. I've just returned from a blissful week away in the Western Cape. Gorgeous scenery, no potholes, cops who stop you just to check your license and not to shake you down. And I know that's a broad brushstroke, but you get what I'm saying. So why do I live in Joburg? Well, the grit, the vibe, the energy, I do love it. And if I actually lived in Cape Town, I couldn't go there on holiday anymore. So that's the trade-off. So today we're getting into a light chat as I'm still buoyed by the holiday vibes and I want to hear from you. Let's talk about your holidays, the best and the worst. What made it good and what made it so bad? What made a trip truly unforgettable for all the right or all the wrong reasons? Was it the destination, the people, or something completely unexpected? Are you highbrow or monobrow when you travel? Are you bougie, Airbnb, or let's wing it with a backpack? Call me now and tell me what's the holiday that was bliss, disaster, or a bit of both. Coming up on Belief Matters, shortly after 1:30, we're going to go a little left field. We're asking what are the spiritual implications of eating food in your dreams. We're going to be speaking to an African spiritual advisor. I mean, is it just a midnight snack from your subconscious, or could it mean something deeper? In some beliefs, it's a sign of blessing. In others, a spiritual warning. So have you ever woken up unsettled or strangely full? Let's talk about what your dreams might be feeding you spiritually. So I'd love to hear from you about that. I mean, do you wake up feeling hungry? Do you go to the fridge when you do? What do you think it means? I'd love to hear your stories. Then it's your turn to ask about any consumer issues you've experienced or want to share with us and with Wendy Nola. Today's focus is car insurance and the claims process. She's with us for a full hour from 2 to 3. You know what the deal is. You can call us on, I'll remind you of the number, 011 883 0702. You can tweet me at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons. You can email me at 702afternoons at 702.co.za or WhatsApp me on 072 702 1702. We'll read your messages or play your voice notes.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
So, whether it was pure joy or total chaos, I really want to hear from you your best or your worst holiday story. Do you have a horror story that tops them all, that makes you happy to be back home or happy to be back in the office just to get away from that horror experience? Or a memory that still warms your heart? Come on, take to the lines and tell us about it. I want to hear. And we know that, holidays can bring out the best in people, sometimes the very worst. We've all had that one holiday that we'll never forget. I had a few pop into my mind while I was thinking about this topic. Two of them, Guatemala and Timbuktu. And I went to Guatemala. I'll get to that story a bit later because I thought it was the most exotic name I had ever heard. And Timbuktu because I always thought it's going to be somewhere, I don't know, a place that I'd never really thought of. And when I was told that, or found out that it was in Africa, I couldn't quite believe it. So I was living in Qatar at that stage, and a friend and I plotted the trip to go to Timbuktu. We wanted to see the festival in the desert. I believe that they don't have that festival anymore. And I think a couple of people had also been kidnapped there. So we were a little bit concerned. Anyway, Timbuktu, middle of Africa, middle of Mali, in fact. And everyone talks about what an arduous or difficult or challenging journey it is to get to Timbuktu. So we finally got to the capital. We negotiated with some contacts of ours. We paid a lot of money to get to Timbuktu. And it really was an arduous journey. I think it took about 4 days, and I keep saying I think, but it was quite a long time ago. It took about 4 days. The best thing about the journey is that I've got really fine hair, and at the end of it, my hair's the thickest it's ever been because there was so much dust from the red desert which had got in my hair. But halfway through, the guy who was driving us said, "This trip is going to cost twice as much." And we thought, well, so we were kind of stuck. So we had to cough up twice as much to get to Timbuktu. And I'm going to tell you what happened when we got to Timbuktu. But before I do that, we've got a caller on the line. Rena from Pretoria, who took the wife to the wine territory of France. Rena?
Sounds nice, eh?
Oh, but,
huh?
Alas,
but
I feel a big but coming.
Yeah, listen, we went on a barge for a week and going through the wine territory. She loves wine and all that kind of stuff. And so read some reviews, spoke to friends. So I just want to tell people who want to go, if you've got enemies, you must buy them a ticket for that. Because it's an industrial channel to start off with, so you can't swim there. The barges are governed, and no joke, we had a group of families with kids cycling.
Oh no!
And they would next to the pass us 10 or 15 times a day because we just couldn't go fast enough with this barge. You can't turn. It's so you know what the French people are like. So you'd get to a barge where you would go through, and on the other side is the little town or you buy food. And this French guy will just decide, listen, I'm going to close the barge for an hour or 2 hours, and you would sit in 35 degrees if it was a nightmare temperature there. And you'll just have to wait till he opens the barge again. Or my wife, for instance, she wanted to buy wine, and we were in the middle of the barge, and the guy said to John some wine. So she said, yes, I want to go. So he locked us in the barge, and the two of them went to a winery for 45 minutes, an hour to buy wine. So there's no, it's a 7 day. And also, if you're late with the boat, returning it, you get fined. But you can't control. You can't go faster. You start this boat in the morning and you go full taps. And if you're two people, very romantic, but you got to keep steering the whole 10 hours that you're on this boat. So it'll be interesting to see people that left reviews that said it's so romantic and it's so nice. You know,
So is that the ex-wife now?
No, she's still. I said to her, listen, now I took the holidays. You know, so I said to her, and the worst was when we got there, okay, the guy said we would like to extend it for 2 weeks. Yeah, and then you go to point A, up to point B, and then you come back again. And I was thinking about it. I was so glad I didn't, though. I tell people if they ever go to France for wine, just drink some wine here in Sandton or Pretoria or something. It's a lot cheaper and nicer.
So you know what's intriguing about hearing the story? I did this same trip last year down the Canal de Midi, and
Yes.
it was It was extraordinary. It was it was the complete opposite of yours. I went with some South African winemakers who would go out and then taste lots of wine, then bring it back and then pick the best ones for us to taste. And
how many were you on the boat?
There were 2 boats, and in ours there were 6 of us, and they were fantastic cooks, which was wonderful, and we tasted wonderful wines. And every French person we met, I've never known them to be so smiley. So maybe.
No. Listen, if you go multiple people, I think get a review from a guy who was driving your boat. I think it'll be very different because. For us, and a lot of people do it for romance, and they get 2 people. You can't just go 2 people because it's a constant thing. You know what it's like.
I mean, it's quite hectic.
Get to the barge,
yeah.
Open the barge, close the barge. So you got to take 2 idiots with you that don't want to have a holiday.
Who are happy to jump out
your
and
children. And yeah, look, if there are 6 people, I'm sure my wife will just keep drinking wine from morning till noon. Then she'd also enjoy it because it sounds very nice.
Not that you'll ever be going back again.
I don't think so. No, but listen, keep well. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, and I really appreciate your story, Renda from Pretoria. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we've got a voice note about going to the Drakensberg. Let's listen to that.
Hey, good afternoon. The best holiday trip that I've ever went to is a recent one where we went to Drakensberg. My wife took me there for my birthday celebration. So we stayed there for 4 nights where we had a buffet for dinner, lunch and breakfast, horse riding, hiking and all. It was nice. It was very, very nice. Thanks.
Yes, I must say there is just something so wonderful about the Drakensberg. I went there a couple of years ago, and it was one of those wonderful places where you put your purse away and everything is included in the price. So you have wonderful breakfasts and lunches, and you don't have to worry about money, and you can go out for walks and get the fresh air. And it's one of those places where you also feel really proud to be a South African, don't you? Okay, we're going to take a short break now, and I'd love to hear more from you about either a fantastic holiday or one from hell.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
4 years almost to that fateful day when Babita Deokaran, a fearless whistleblower, was silenced. Rakesh, how are you as a family?
She lived for something that transpired now. Everything is coming now to the fore. And it's difficult for us. The name came up in 2021, so was the trail not followed?
Are you as a family being kept up to speed about what has happened since?
We have never.
Are we continuing to fail your sister?
Exactly.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Imagine if you could save time like you save money. A second here, a minute there. Type a little faster, walk a little faster. Or you could stop scrolling on the internet. Just think of all the hours you'll save. Now what if you could take all that time and invest it? Watch it grow. Until eventually, one day, you'd have so much time that you wouldn't know what to do with it all. But unfortunately, time doesn't work like that. It can't be stored or banked. And unlike money, you can't make it back. That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do whatever you want to do, even if it is scrolling on the internet. Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Your workday calls for more performance, more doing the impossible, more challenge accepted. Your weekends demand more excitement, more detours, more limitless living. And the new GWM P300 LS is where it all comes together. Bring it on in the new P300 LS with a 2.4 turbo diesel and 12.3-inch touchscreen from only $5,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Dear Journal, day 4602 of trying to be an adult. My doctor asked me how my quality of rest is at the moment. I told him I have two problems. I struggle to sleep at night, but I also struggle to awake at day.
Aggressively realizing your age and get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's simple and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Franchise your future with a vision to invest, the mindset to follow a proven system, and the drive to grow something of your own. Meet the minds behind smart investments and proven franchise success on Franchise Your Future with Relebogile Mabotja, brought to you by Cash Converters on 702. Plus, you could win 10,000 Rand to kickstart your journey to franchise your future. Hit primemediaplus.com now. Then every Tuesday from 1 p.m, catch Franchise Your Future on afternoons with Relebogile Mabotja, brought to you by Cash Converters, your money, your momentum. On 702, let's walk the talk.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
We're talking about your best holidays and your worst holiday experiences. We've heard about a trip down the Canal de Midi in France, where Rene was just saying that it was just an absolute disaster, about how wonderful the Drakensberg is. And let's listen to this voice note from Baptiza, who went to the West Coast.
Good afternoon, Tabu here. The latest holiday, really recent one that I took was to Langebaan, the western coast, Cape. It was so marvelous. Mykonos Club, Mykonos Langebaan. Yo, it's so surreal. I loved it.
Wonderful. And also, I mean, when we listen to these, we can get some tips, because so often we overlook what is just right here in front of us in South Africa. I mean, the three rondavels in Mpumalanga, as known as the Three Sisters. I mean, that's a breathtaking natural landmark. Have you ever been there? Should I take you back to Timbuktu, our trip to Timbuktu? So eventually, after 4 days, we got to Timbuktu. And I don't want to be negative about a place, but it was really disappointing. I mean, this was a center of learning. It was the culture of learning. Libraries were there. It was just, it was the center of the universe from an intellectual point of view. And we got there, and it hasn't been well looked after. And you could smell the sewage as you were getting there. I mean, you know, the building structures are exotic, because it's like nothing I'd ever seen before. Anyway, that was Timbuktu, much smaller than you think. And then we carried on going to this the festival in the desert, which is a traditional Tuareg festival. And, you know, it's those incredible local, one of the local tribes there, who wear the most beautiful colors and the most incredible scarves on their heads, and they arrive at the festival on camels. I must say that was pretty exotic. And instead of West African music, the focus that year was Inuit music. So, and I don't know if you've heard Inuit music, but it's not like West African music. They basically go, and they did that for hours. So that was a little disappointing. And the friend that I was traveling with also had a runny tummy, and we were in a tent. So all in all, the Mali Timbuktu trip wasn't quite as wonderful and as exotic as I thought it would be. But you know, at least I've ticked that one off the list. Guatemala, on the other hand, was just so exotic and so wonderful. And I read about it and booked it, one of those impulsive bookings. And I went in my clubbing days. I actually went from a nightclub, and I went straight to Guatemala, and I rocked up, and I was wearing leather pants and high heel shoes. So that was not the best way to travel through Guatemala. So I had to quickly do some shopping over there. But that was another beautiful, fascinating place. Poulin says, talking about holidays, I recently traveled to the United Kingdom, London and Edinburgh. I really enjoyed my stay at Corinthia Hotel and spending some time with old pals in Holland Park. Oh, that's such a beautiful park, isn't it? Restaurants in London are incredible. Edinburgh and Scotland took me on a Harry Potter amazing experience. That's Pule in Alberton. So Edinburgh is one of my is one of my favourite places. I love it. I used to cover the Edinburgh Festival for many years. And when I was there, I think the second time I was there, I was followed by a group of Scottish people. And they just said, we like what you're doing, so we're going to be your friend. And they became my friends, and I ended up going out with somebody from that group for 5 years. So that Scottish accent is just really amazing, isn't it? I'm just wondering what it must be like in the UK right now, okay, with that incredible heat that we are or that Europe is experiencing at the moment. And London with all of that cement or all that heat bouncing off of it. So come on, give me a call. I want to hear, we've got lots of time, about your holidays, good and bad, and what made it so wonderful. One of my favorite places in South Africa, and I'm selfishly not going to mention the name unless you beg me to tell you. It's just outside Cape Town, and there are maybe 11 houses on this nature reserve, and you can't drive your car to it. So you've got to park about 15 minutes away, and you've got to put everything on your back, and you trundle over rocks and down this mountainside to this wonderful place, and it's got its own private beach. And one of the times that I was there, and there's no electricity, and so you got to sort all of that out. And they're baboons, so you've got to be careful about that. And one of the times I was there was a yellowtail run, and we helped all the fishermen, and we helped them pull in the yellowtail. And as we were pulling them in, or after we pulled them in, we got given a bit of a fish. So we sashimi'd it, and it was just so exotic. Tsepo's got a voice message for us from the experience in Sun City.
Hi there. Best holiday that we've been to has to be Sun City. We've consistently went back to Sun City every year, and it's simply the best vacation spot in South Africa. I think mainly because it's got everything under the same roof. You want to go game driving, it's right on their doorstep. You want to go on a hot air balloon, it's right there. You want to go into pools, it's right there. You want to go onto a man-made beach, they have it. Food is amazing, the weather is always amazing, and it's just the best. This is Tsepo from Alberton.
Thank you, Tsepo. Yes, I mean, at Sunset, it's been around for such a long time, but what is wonderful about it is the variety, as Tsepo was saying. So there's something for everybody, right? If you are a gambler, if you are a kid, if you want to play golf. I've played golf there, 2 very good golf courses. So that is the place to go. And if you're living in Joburg, it's pretty close. Karaba, what's your best holiday place? Do you have one?
No, I don't. But Cape Town, always love to go there. Sea Point, Clifton Beach, love it there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just come back from Sea Point. It's so funky at the moment, isn't it? Look at me. Okay, I think we're gonna, George. Should we keep George for after the headlines, or tap into you now? George, tell us quickly about your experience in Monaco.
I don't know if you've been to Hotel de Paris.
No.
Or you heard of Hotel de Paris in Monaco?
No, I have not. I've been to Monaco, but not there.
Okay, you've never been served by a Michelin star chef? No? Have you?
Luckily, I have, yes.
Okay, I've been served by a 3-star Michelin chef in Hotel de Paris, just of the Formula One thing. It is one of the most exotic places to be, I tell you.
Why?
And another one.
Why was it so exotic?
Oh, God, this is Monaco for starters, right? Just off the quay, if you walk off the quay and you look at these yachts that are costing billions of rands, and you step into Hotel de Paris, and you look at the menu and you think, my God, where do you start?
Yes.
And they bring this food. It's all like, what do you call it? Haute cuisine. It's all sculpted stuff. I mean, you don't even know what you're eating. I mean, it's exotica par excellence. I've never. And then, of course, my second one, and that I'll never forget, is Versailles, Palace of Versailles.
Yes.
at what is called the Orangery, just next to the Hall of Mirrors, where the Treaty of Versailles was signed. Had my lunch there, or our lunch we had there.
And what appealed to you about it? The size of it?
The manicured lawns. I mean, when you get to Versailles and you look at the lawns out there, and of course, back of your mind is, of course, the historical significance of this. I could see all these people from the Tiger, from whatever negotiation going on about the First World War, the end of the First World War. And just next door in the Hall of Mirrors, because you couldn't get into the Hall of Mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
You are just on the side at what is called the Orangery. And again, the food being served there was just, the typical French flair, the ambiance, sunsets. It's like, it's like dream world. And you get out of there, it's like, wow. And the only problem I had there was that I'd left my camera at our hotel, or someone had left the camera. Those years, there was no cell phones so I haven't got evidence that I was at Hotel de Paris.
But it's in your mind. And we believe it now because you've put it on the radio, so we know that you were there. And you're a bit like me. I mean, food, I think, underpins a phenomenal experience, right? It really, really does. And it is now just after 1:30, time for the news headlines. And Musi Mamani has been calling people out about the national dialogue.
That's correct, Jane. A very good afternoon. Build One South Africa leader Musi Maimane has called on the legacy foundations that withdrew from the National Dialogue organising team to return. The dialogue has faced setbacks after groups like the Thabo Mbeki and Steve Biko foundations withdrew. The organisation cited insufficient budget and limited preparation time as reasons for their withdrawal ahead of last week's first national convention. Civil society movement, the Activists and Citizens Forum, is urging members of the criminal justice system to provide corruption-related information to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Yesterday, the Commission into Corruption within the system announced it would be commencing with hearings on the 1st of September. That commission was established by the President in July, just days after KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made public a series of explosive allegations of corruption as well as political interference. And the city of Tshwane has set itself a massive investment target of 5 billion rand in a bid to turn that municipality around. The city hopes to woo investors at its upcoming inaugural investment summit next month. Tshwane Mayor Nasiphi Moya briefed media on plans to revive underperforming assets, including the Rooiwal power plant, Wonderboom Airport, and the troubled fresh produce market. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 2 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
We still have slow-moving traffic. This is heading into Bedford View on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Kilulis interchange, also traveling into the Joburg CBD. Traffic remains sluggish on Main Reef Road between Production and Anderson Street, while in Devlin there's still roadworks causing some delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. And look out for those faulty traffic lights in Alex at Marlborough Drive and Far East Bank. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Often now we see leaders of the ANC exploring what other options would have looked like. Do you think this is better than what we could have seen maybe with partnering with the EFF or partnering with the MK party?
Infinitely. I think the MK party is just an offshoot of the ANC, and it's a party of thugs, to put it bluntly. If there is a government of national unity, it can't be uniting with people who are openly supportive of corruption or openly defiant of our constitution. There has to be some kind of bottom line principles.
What about the EFF?
I think some of their behavior in Parliament was actually quite despicable, quite immature, childish, juvenile. I think there has to be a seriousness amongst the partners in a government of national unity.
Derek Hanekom, thank you so much.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Are you living with diabetes? Tired of painful fingerstick tests? Introducing a new continuous glucose monitoring system from Abbott Laboratories. The Freestyle Libre 2 system sends glucose readings straight to your compatible smartphone. With minute-by-minute glucose readings, optional glucose alarms, and excellent accuracy, the Freestyle Libre system is here to support you in the management of your diabetes. For more information and where to buy your Freestyle Libre 2 sensor, visit www.freestylelibre.za.com. Now available at your local pharmacy.
Betway's exclusive new games are taking the world by storm. Featuring massive Megaways jackpots. Take your shot on Cash and Riches, Wolf Blaze, Gallo Gold Brunos, and many more incredible experiences for you to choose from. You're guaranteed to find a new ultra fun favorite. Get way more only at Betway. Betway is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. NRGP counseling line 0800 006 008. All events are fixed odds betting games.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is here. Experience unbeatable vibes this heritage weekend at the Kailami Grand Prix Circuit on the 20th and 21st of September. On Saturday the 20th, catch Don Toliver, Cuesta, Nkabi Zezwe and more. Then on Sunday the 21st, don't miss the iconic Lauren Hill and on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests Wycliffe Jean, YG Mali and Zion Mali with Lyra, Mandisi Jantis and Zoe Modicha, also performing on the Sunday. Tickets at Ticketmaster, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, proudly supported by 702.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
We've been talking about best and worst holidays. Zeno says, listening to your Timbuktu trip, it sounds like you were taken on a local joyride in Hillbrow. Well, at night, just didn't notice it. We've got a call on the line, Nicolette Gardner from Edenvale. And you enjoyed dolphins swimming in Mozambique. Good afternoon. Tell us about it.
Hi, Jane. Yes, absolutely. This was something that had always been on my bucket list. I had gone to Portugal where we swam with captive dolphins. But after doing that, I still felt, no, I haven't quite fulfilled this bucket list. And I wanted to swim with wild dolphins in their own environment. And I had the opportunity, I had met a lady in my writing group who runs these dolphin retreats to Mozambique. And eventually I got to the point where I had a bit of money and I could afford to go, and I contacted her. And I have a disability. I've got multiple sclerosis, so I have a disability, and I had to ask her, would I be able to do this? And she consulted with the place we would be staying and the dolphin company that would be helping us, and all came back and said, no, they would make it possible. And another friend of mine who also has MS went with us. And it truly was a magical time. We went for 6 days, and every day we went out on the rubber duckies, and then we would go into the water and snorkel with the dolphins, that's the bottlenose dolphins. So you get right up close to them. You know, you have to agree that you will not touch them,
yes,
because that's part of the whole understanding the environment. But yeah, you snorkel with them. One time we had a pod of about 100 dolphins swim right under us. So, you know, so close that you could have leant down and touched them. And yeah, we saw whales. We saw whales that had just given birth. We went on whale sighting trips.
Where was it exactly?
It was in Ponta de Ouro in Mozambique.
Lovely.
But just wonderful, wonderful.
And how did you feel when you could see those dolphins? How did it make you feel?
just free in a sense, because you're just watching them, and they're just gliding past you. And the one time when we were down there was a mother dolphin, and she had her baby against her stomach, and she stopped in front of me, and she just did this complete twirl in front of me, as if to say, look what I've done, as if she's showing her little baby off to me. So really, yes, it does. It was emotional. It gives you a sense of freedom, and the lady who was running the retreat was telling us some stories about, dolphins are supposed to be very sensitive to where there's something wrong with people or that. And she said the one time there was a lady on the trip, and the dolphin kept bumping her stomach. And she asked her, she said, are you pregnant? She said, no ways am I pregnant. And after they got back, about 2 weeks later, she phoned her and said, guess what? I'm pregnant. So, that sensitivity of the dolphin. Yeah, it was really just a wonderful, wonderful time.
What a beautiful story, Nicolette. Thank you for sharing it with us. And I'm happy that you were able to swim with them. Thank you. We've got a couple of voice notes on this topic. Let's listen to those.
One of my best holidays was last year. I took my daughter, 16-year-old daughter, to go and visit my sister in Portugal. Very rural area that they live in. And we would literally get up in the morning, decide we're going to go into a direction, go and explore, no agenda, nothing. We just would go and explore the area. If we couldn't get back in time, we would just try and find a place to sleep over and then head back the next day or explore further. It was just such a lovely way to travel and not have that preconceived ideas of going to places that other tourists love seeing. And we discovered the most divine spots that would always stay in my mind.
Yes, hello Jane. Nice to have you on the radio today.
Thank you.
Tyron Randburg. My favourite holiday would probably be, I've been around a lot, but probably be the Timbavati. Karen's camp, Ava Karen. He had a private game reserve there, and my brother-in-law and my sister used to run it for him. And I'd often get a chance to go up there. And as a press photographer and as a photographer with all the right gear, I would spend a lot of time up there and get some amazing photographs. So that would probably be my best. My worst would probably be when I nearly died. You've done it yourself.
Yep.
Zimbabwe, White River rafting. I swam the whole first rapid underwater with one breath.
Oof.
I thought I was dying. I saw my life flash before my eyes.
Yeah, that is pretty much living on the edge, isn't it? Just quickly responding to that, the message in Portugal. It is a fantastic thing to do, isn't it? I did it in Florence, where you just put the map away and you just walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. And you feel that you're finding little places that maybe other tourists don't see. So I say I support that totally. And I think that's a great way of really getting to know the country. Thank you very much for your voice messages. You can keep them coming. We're going to have a quick break. And then after that, I want to know, have you had a food dream that shook you or changed your life? Call in and share what you saw, ate and felt. We want to hear your stories. That's coming up in Belief Matters.
When you vote in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko, you don't just support a business, you help rewrite its future.
Winning Gauteng's greatest, powered by Yoko, impacted our business in quite a few ways. And for our business, which is a family business, which was actually originally established in KZN, it was so important in establishing ourselves in Gauteng with our second location, which many people didn't even know. Of course, yes, I would encourage people to vote for their favorite establishment. It's really not hard to do, to just quickly go to Primedia Plus to cast your vote.
Winning Gauteng's greatest, powered by Yoko, has helped us to get that kind of public recognition, but this now gives that recognition to the staff who put in all that time and effort to give our customers the greatest pizza available. On behalf of us at Delta Cafe, I would strongly encourage all the listeners to go to Prime Media Plus and cast their votes.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is more than a click. It could be a game changer for your favorite local business. Vote now on primediaplus.com.
And there you go, your favorite latte, hot and ready.
You never disappoint.
Listen, did you see that email? God, it's going down. Let's catch up later. Got another Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay, cool. Later.
Meet our audience. They are working, living their lives, sharing stories, and always listening. So if you're going to interrupt them, it better be good. Prime Media Broadcasting Sales. We help you connect with every productive, innovative, and dynamic individual in our audience. From the open plan office to the executive suite. Contact us at advertise@primemedia.co.za today.
It all starts with advice from FNB Private. Because the perfect overseas trip starts with planning. Save and spend in multiple currencies with your FNB Global account and lock in exchange rates. Enjoy up to 40% off flights with eBucks Travel and order Forex on the FNB app delivered to you at no extra cost. Your adventure awaits. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TC's earn rules and limits apply.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years, Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our new Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
702.
Belief matters.
Exploring culture, traditions, religion,
and the beliefs that shape our world.
Today we're going to be looking at something that many people have been warned against, especially those from a Christian or African spirituality background: eating in your dreams. Several things have been said about it, like if one eats in a dream, they're being fed something spiritually, and that with a negative connotation. There's witchcraft being practiced and many other things. So we're going to be finding out what the implications are, what it actually means, and what one should do after they've eaten while dreaming, or eaten pre, post, and during dreaming. And has it happened to you? Get in touch with us. Siyabonga Mkize, African spiritual advisor, has joined us on the line, and a very good afternoon to you. What does it mean when you eat in your dreams?
Good afternoon to yourself as well as the listeners. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing well too.
Very well, thank you. Thank you. So eating in your dreams isn't necessarily always a bad thing. There are two larger interpretations and subcategories under that. The two general ones are, number one, it is a form of witchcraft. But number two, it can also show you the foods that you should be eating more of or less of, which will increase or either reduce your frequency. There are times when when you see yourself eating a particular type of food, and then in real life, when you do eat that particular type of food, you're either not dreaming at all, you have an allergic reaction physically, or you want to vomit. That doesn't necessarily mean that someone is trying to bewitch you using food, but rather your ancestors are telling you temporarily, for us to have a heightened connection with you, you need to avoid fish, you need to avoid meat, you need to avoid alcohol as well. There are times when alcohol reduces the frequency, and your ancestors are telling you that you are becoming an alcoholic. Stop or change the relationship that you have with food, more particularly with the people that are obese or the people that can't control their eating. Josie is very aware that you are becoming overweight and it's unhealthy. Stop putting food into your mouth, or be cautious of what you are putting into your mouth. Then we move on to the other side, which is the more malevolent side, where people are being fed things in their dreams, okay? There are moments where you are being fed, and then there are times when you are eating something, right? Okay. Be very cautious of what is taking place. You need to be cautious of, are you being fed? Are you being given food? Or are you taking food? Number one. Number two, what is the quality of the food like? Is the food rotten? Does it have worms? Or is the food perfectly normal and healthy? If you are being fed by a family member or being given something by a family member, then Josie is telling you that the hand which is bewitching you is that of a family member, right? If it's a stranger, okay, right? I'm trying to teach people because when you go for a bone reading session with someone, that falls a certain way, and you can tell whether the enemy is inside or outside the family.
Okay.
But if you are being fed rotten food by a stranger, then that means that the enemy is not of your blood and it is a stranger. Obviously, if it's a colleague, then it will tell you that it is a colleague. It is not always the person that you're seeing in your dream that's going to be the one bewitching you. Sometimes they are a representative of other people that are assisting them to bewitch you.
And
then,
how would you distinguish?
Okay, when you have seen that this person is bewitching you, right, and you've gone through the process of deduction, okay, to get to the point that I'm now being bewitched in my dreams, you need to ask your ancestors, I can see that this is the person of my blood who is bewitching me in my dreams. Is it them, or are there other people in the family that are facilitating them and using this person's faith? Because very good and intricate witchcraft can almost create a scapegoat, so they can use your aunt's faith to hide behind, when in actual fact it's your cousins or your brothers or your sisters or other family members. That's very good witchcraft. And that's where witchcraft, and that's particularly in marriages, when they're trying to break apart a marriage or when they're trying to break apart a relationship, they will use someone very close to you as the face of the witchcraft, when in actual fact, what they're trying to do is break down the marriage and make you think that that is the enemy.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a voice note from Paul, and I'd like to play it to you, and just let me know what you think, please.
All right.
And it touches
I'm listening.
on. Sorry, yeah, it's coming to you now. So it's just landed, but it does touch on witchcraft. And while we're just waiting for that to get ready, all right, we're ready now. Let's listen to it.
Afternoon. Back when I was growing up and where I'm from, it didn't matter what you were eating in your dream. All of it was considered a bad sign, witchcraft of some sort. We call it sijiso, something that's going to make you ill. So you were encouraged to drink your own urine, the first urine as you wake up, before you eat anything.
What do you make of that? And is that the way to go, drinking your own urine?
You see, this is so the thing is with African spirituality, and this is why we treat it as a science where you do research. Because the more research you do, the more you begin to find that blanketing everything is also a problem, right? Science is the exact same way. We have nuclear energy, but nuclear energy can also power cities as opposed to it just being for destructive purposes. So when you do research, you begin to see that all dreams of eating are not issues. Right? If I'm sitting eating on Easter, which is in isiZulu, it's what we serve food on. If I'm sitting and eating food with my grandmother on Easter, that is an indicator ukuthi my grandmother is hungry. Asihle. She wants me to give her something. Right? If I am eating eggs, for example, okay, and in the morning I wake up feeling sick, then Iglos is telling me, why don't you try not eating eggs? And when I stop eating eggs, all of a sudden my grandmother comes to me more often. So it is clear that the eggs are not the problem. It's not witchcraft. It's the fact that I'm reducing my own frequency. We must understand that the narrative of everything being witchcraft is going to be promoted for economic reasons. People are more prone to spend money when they're scared, right? Witchcraft makes money. There's a lot of witchcraft in South Africa. Yes, I'm not downplaying that. But I'm saying the narrative will persist because you're more likely to spend money if I strike fear into your heart. But if I give you an alternative that perhaps it is another way of looking at it, which is seemingly a little less boring and a little less dramatic, okay, people don't want to spend money. So we also need to think about the reasons why narrative.
how we are being fed, who's feeding us, and what does it mean if we are feeding ourselves, and what happens if we wake up happy?
You need to learn to read your own dreams. That's why there is a book on dreams is very difficult to write. It's the same as intimacy. Dreams of intimacy have been forever told that it's Islwane, it's a spiritual husband, it's a spiritual wife, right? Teaching people the process of identifying is what leads or what results in spiritual independence. The reason why everybody takes the blanket approach or the blanket answer is because they are not taught the process step by step on how to interpret. And that's because people that are spiritually independent are bad for business.
Sure.
And that's the truth, you know. And with Idliso, we need to understand that Idliso, everybody thinks Idliso and associated with love and intimacy and relationships. Umuntu angadlisa. Someone can dlisa you for three reasons. They can do it for love and relationships, but they can also do it for access, to make you sick and to try hurt you and to kill you, right? And then the third reason why people can do it, why abantu bangadlisa, is also to try and diminish what they're trying to do is prepare you for spiritual kidnapping, which is called uktwetud. That is where they slowly...
Sorry, I'm going to stop you there now. I mean, this is such a big topic, right? And I should imagine that a lot of people have been listening with fascination and would like to explore it more. Can you quickly give us your details in case anyone wants to get hold of you?
Everything is CM Kize on Instagram, on all social media. Our WhatsApp number, which you can also phone in normally on, is 060-531-0157. That's 060-531-0157. And I'm based in Johannesburg, Kempton Park.
Fascinating stuff, Siyabonga. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille is expected to initiate the process of appointing a new board at SA Tourism after dissolving the current one. De Lille announced the sacking of the board yesterday with immediate effect. The Tourism Ministry says the decision was prompted by the board of SA Tourism convening an unlawful meeting and taking what she deems as irregular resolutions.
On the 1st of August this year, the SA Tourism Board convened a special meeting, but that meeting has landed the members in hot water, resulting in the dissolution of the board.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Whenever you hear deep in the heart and art of jazz, think Siya Makuzeni with the big band, Jasmine Horn, Alun Wad, The Baylor Project, Jose James sings Badu, Umusangare, Esperanza Spalding, Michelle Dugiocello, Elaine, Tezo, Munei, Mondli Ngobo, and many other spectacular icons. Think Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, 4 stages at the Sandton Convention Center, 26th, 27th, and 28th September, and take me there. Book via Ticketmaster.
Joburg gets ready to paint the town purple. The Hollywood Bets 10-kilometer race is back, bigger, bolder, and bursting with energy. Whether you're running for fun or just love the vibe, this is your race. Join thousands as we take over the streets in true purple style. Tickets are available now on web tickets, so make sure you grab your spots at the starting line. And listen up, KZN is 100% sold out. Joburg, it's your turn to shine. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0170.
What is Overtrail? Is it off the beaten path, over the edge of comfort, or the thrill of the road less taken? It's over every bridge, every obstacle, every trail, and over to that view that takes your breath away. Overtrail means going further, exploring deeper, surrounded by the comfort and sophistication of a luxury SUV. It's this spirit that inspired the Overtrail project. Experience Overtrail in the LX and GX range. Lexus. Experience amazing.
We've been talking about your best and your worst holidays. We've been speaking to an African spiritual advisor about what it means when you dream about food. Thank you very much for your comments on that. After the news, we're going to be speaking to Wendy Nola, but right now it's 2 o'clock. Time for the news.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Build One South Africa leader Mmusi Maimane has called on the legacy foundations that withdrew from the National Dialogue organising team to return. The dialogue has faced setbacks after groups like the Thabo Mbeki and Steve Biko foundations withdrew. The organisations cited insufficient budget and limited preparation time as reasons for their withdrawal ahead of last week's first national convention. Build One South Africa held a media briefing in Johannesburg today addressing the issues surrounding the dialogue. Alpha Ramashwana is there.
Since President Cyril Ramaphosa announced the formation of the National Dialogue, several political parties have declined to take part in the initiative. The withdrawal of the legacy foundations, who've long been advocating for such a dialogue, came as an even greater shock. Build One South Africa leader Mmusi Maimane says the process has clearly been politicized, which risks undermining its purpose.
This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. We mess this national dialogue up, be assured we will not be able to hold another one. Therefore, it's within that context that we have to do everything possible to ensure that the process is not politicized, that it is not corrupted.
Maimane urges the legacy foundations to return to the National Dialogue's preparatory task team. He says broad participation from all sectors of society is essential. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Civil society movement, the Activists and Citizens Forum, is urging members of the criminal justice system to provide corruption-related information to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Yesterday, the inquiry into corruption in the justice system announced it would commence with hearings on the 1st of September. The commission was established by the president in July, just days after KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made public a series of explosive allegations of corruption and political interference. Dennis Bloom of the Activists and Citizens Forum says they will closely monitor the Madlanga Judicial Commission of Inquiry as well as Parliament's ad hoc committee who will be investigating Mkhwanazi's allegations.
All those who are hell-bent in capture the criminal justice system for the second time must be exposed and must face the full might of the law.
The city of Tshwane has set itself a massive investment target of 5 billion rand in a bid to turn the municipality around. The city hopes to woo investors at its upcoming inaugural investment summit next month. Tshwane Mayor Dr. Nasipi Moya briefed media on plans to revive underperforming assets, including the Rooiwal Power Plant, Wonderboom Airport and the troubled fresh produce market. Moya says the upcoming summit will showcase the city as a viable investment destination.
These assets alone will not be enough to revive the city's economy. As such, during the summit, the administration will reveal a comprehensive support package to investors. Some investors in the city are already benefiting from the work we have begun in this regard. We have reconfigured the Tshwane Strategic Investment Committee, also known as STRIC.
She says investment in the city will help to plug some gaps in its revenue and service delivery plans.
We can provide all this support, ladies and gentlemen, if we do not provide reliable infrastructure, if we cannot commit the city in provision of water and electricity, no investor will have confidence in us. As such, the city of Tshwane is undertaking critical interventions to address long-standing infrastructure challenges.
Traffic has been disrupted along the R71 Mahubuskloof in Limpopo following a bus accident this morning. A bus from the Education Department carrying 39 passengers, including 30 children, from a special needs school crashed along the busy route today, resulting in one lane being closed off to traffic. No fatalities have been reported, but the Provincial Transport Department says it cannot provide any information on the number of injuries yet. Spokesperson Matume Tauyatswela is advising motorists to exercise caution when approaching the scene.
The scene is under control with our officers conducting point duty services as only one lane is usable. The details of the injuries and the accident will be available once the next of kin has been informed and the scene is cleared. Please be patient and cautious when driving around the area.
And in the United States, authorities are on high alert in parts of the East Coast as Hurricane Erin soaks parts of coastal North Carolina. North Carolina's Outer Banks are worst affected, with authorities closing a key highway on the Barrier Islands. The National Hurricane Center says weakening is likely to begin by tomorrow, but Erin is forecast to remain a hurricane into the weekend. Some beaches remain closed as the hurricane threatens rip currents from Florida to New England. Gold is trading at $3,338.97 an ounce. The rand is at 17.71 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.61 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.84 a barrel.
Devland heading into Eldorado Park, roadwork still causing heavy delays. This is on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue, while in the Randburg area there's still bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on Grosvenor Road between Bryanston Drive and Leslie, and also look out for those faulty traffic lights in Alex at Marlborough Drive and Far East Bank.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN, Build One South Africa leader Mmusi Maimane has called on the legacy foundations that withdrew from the National Dialogue organizing team to return.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Show up for the finalist who showed up for you. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Vote for your favorite local business now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm in for Relebogile. In the last hour, I was asking you about some of your best and your worst holiday experiences. And I heard a lot from you. A disastrous trip down the Canal de Midi in France. A wonderful one to Monaco with Michelin-starred chef feeding the listener to just magnificent food, and wonderful trip to Magaliesberg. Vivian says she's been to a couple of our provinces, driving through Graskop once. I stopped to take a walk down the road in this one-horse town. There was this pancake place with green painted floors. The best pancakes ever. Just beautiful. I've been back every time. Mpumalanga compares favorably with Cape Town. Isn't it wonderful when you discover or you try food in a local hotspot that you might not have noticed if you hadn't been told about it or just gone off the beaten track. Another listener was saying that she went to Portugal with her daughter and they just walked and found the most wonderful places. We also spoke about the spiritual implications of eating in your dreams with an African spiritual advisor. I mean, just fascinating stuff of what he was saying, the sort of messages that food in your dreams, eating in your dreams gives you, whether somebody's playing havoc with your life or whether they're supporting you, and how to identify it. Uncle Jay wants to find out Siyabonga Mkize's details, and that phone number is 061 444 6280. As you know, every week in this hour, we're going to be speaking to Wendy Nolan, our consumer feature. And today we're focusing on car insurance, specifically a case which a listener raised with us a few weeks ago. He says an engine issue was caused by a crash and his insurance thinks otherwise. So we're going to be talking about cars, insurance, and as you know, Wendy will always answer your questions. So why don't you get in touch with us? You can call us on 011 883 0702. You can tweet me at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 Afternoons. You can email us on 702afternoons at 702.co.za or WhatsApp me on 072 702 1702, and we'll play your WhatsApp, or we'll read your WhatsApp to Wendy.
702.
Nola knows.
Good afternoon, Wendy Nola. We've got a topic today that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in, and I know that's somebody you wanted to speak to, Lebo Ledwaba, who had this problem. Lebo, very good afternoon to you. All right, we're also going to be waiting for Lebo to get onto the line to us. We know that he's been talking to Wendy, and the two of them are going to be going through the problems that he's had with his cars. And I know, I mean, cars are, it's a real problem, isn't it? As your car insurance goes up dramatically, the value of your car goes down. Let's bring in Wendy. Wendy, can you hear me now? All right, I'm not sure why we're not getting Wendy. And also, I wanted to say good afternoon to you watching us on YouTube. You can also send messages to us if you want to speak to Wendy, or if you want to get me to pass a message on to Wendy. A lot of the things that we can go through about going to panel meeting. Lebo, hello, welcome.
Wendy. Hey, thank you. How are you? Good afternoon, Wendy.
It's Jane here at the moment. We just
Jane.
Yes, easily confused.
Long time, Jane. I think it's Relebogile.
Lebo, I know that Wendy knows what your story is, but the listeners don't. So tell us what happened to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. What my problem was with the insurance, actually, together with the penal beaters, whereby my car was involved in an accident with a third party, and the third party did agree to the fault, and then they did made a payment to the insurance because I didn't want to go to the third, but I just went through the insurance. So it's fine. The insurance go through, the legal team go to it, and then do the claim, whereby the claim was approved, and then they fix the car. But when I go to fetch my car from the penal beater, I discovered that some of the things actually was not okay on the car, like the oil pump. There's the indication on the dashboard that the oil pump is that signal there. So I informed the insurance immediately, whereby they asked me to take back the car to the penal beater, and I did. And then the penal beater said, no, this is a mechanical mechanical problem. We didn't do that. We do only the penalty. And then they advised me to take the car to the dealer to actually assess what could be the problem, if it was whether related to the accident. And then I did take the car there, and then the penal beater said, due to that, it could be an accident issue, which is they stated, but they didn't state it on the report. They stated on the email, which I forwarded to the insurance, and then the insurance go through, and then they start to interrogate the dealer. How can they say this is a accident related, whereas they didn't assemble the part? But I said to them, guys, this thing was not there before. This thing was only experienced after the accident. Yes. But now, how will those guys know whether it's an accident related or not? Because this is the inner part. But I go there to take the car, and then the dealer said, no, you need something close to 19,000 to sort out to assemble the oil pump. And then I informed them, they said, you'll only take responsibilities and all accident related. I said, okay, because I knew that this thing was not there. I said, okay, I'll take it. But when they come there, they come with a different story that was a wear and tear, which was not actually indicated on the report. When I checked the report, I didn't look at that. But I go through and then to check that type of a car, actually how long the lifespan of the oil pump. It says to me, this thing is a lifetime. It can't be get damaged unless something happens. You just have to go there for a lifetime. So I just leave it like that, and then I pay the dealer that 19,000 because these guys are not willing to pay. They are insisting that the cost of the accident is not the part. The cost of the damage of the oil pump was not part of the accident. It's the wear and tear, which is not true. So I leave it there, and then Wendy did a contact with them where they end up paying the excess, which are not willing to pay all along. Well, my excess was not much on that car because it was close to 1.5, but they did pay it. It's okay. But I end up paying that 19,000, which I'm 100% sure that that damage is caused by the accident. But I don't have proof because the dealer can't say it's an accident because they have to assemble the part. And then the part is similar to the one which came with the car. Is the manufacturer during the car was released. So whether it's a wear and tear, they didn't say that on the report.
Okay,
It's
let's bring in Wendy Nola. Good afternoon to you, Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Okay, we will get to Wendy. That's the joy of live, isn't it? And all those little bits and pieces that fly through the airwaves and make it so hard to connect with people sometimes. But Lebo's been giving us the story. Lebo, thank you very much for that. We are going to be talking to the moneymakers on the show, and we'll get back onto this topic.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
My name is Orina, and what I love about 702 is the Clement Banyatela show. I didn't think that I would see Clement today.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
On the 20th and the 21st of September, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, brings you the flavour, the music and the vibe with international stars, South Africa's top performers, delicious food from local artisans and fashion that turns heads. It's the ultimate heritage weekend experience. Gather your friends on Saturday and make it a family picnic day on Sunday. Join interactive cooking demos, explore vibrant art, and celebrate 30 years of DSTV bringing entertainment to Africa. One ticket gives you access to all. Visit ticketmaster.co.za with more on deliciousfestival.com.
My friend always says, not my problem, bro. But what if it was your sister, your mother, your daughter? Gender-based violence is everyone's problem. And good men don't look away. If you see abuse, don't be silent. Report it. Call the SA Police on 10111 or the GBVF Command Center on 0800 428 428. Strong men protect. Strong women stand up. Together, we can end gender-based violence and femicide. Break the vicious cycle. Act now. A message from Government Communications, the GCIS.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 in brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702.
Nola knows.
Good afternoon, Wendy Nola.
And can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Well, congratulations. we have you. We've got rid of all those pesky little gremlins. So Lebo has outlined to us in detail about everything that's gone wrong. I know that you know his story. What's the outcome?
Okay. So I want to start by take up as many listener cases as we can, and I always hope for the best. I always hope that my interventions are going to lead them in a better place. But cars are tricky cases, and it doesn't always work out that way. And unfortunately, this was one of those cases. So essentially, the first interesting thing was that Lebo is a client of Dial Direct, and the person that crashed into him is a client of trying to remember, but it's another brand within the Telesure group. So it was sort of sister insurance companies. And so that made it a bit interesting. But essentially, they repaired the car and then a light came on. You know, one of those pesky engine lights. It sounds like it was the oil light. And Lebo says, the panel beater said, no, that wasn't part of the crash. And then he took it to a Hyundai dealership. He owns a 2016 Hyundai Tucson. And they apparently said, oh, this was actually impacted. This fault was caused by the accident. But it's not on the accident report. There was an email, but the insurer, Direct, is saying it was unrelated, that it was wear and tear. Let me find the part of the email to read it. Our technical specialist assessed the vehicle and maintained that the oil pump issues due to deterioration, wear and tear, and is not related to the accident. This is a 9-year-old car. This was also confirmed by the panel beater as well as by the Hyundai dealership. Hyundai did not remove the oil sump and provided confirmation that these damages are not incident-related but due to normal wear and tear. They stated that the customer says the engine light came on upon diagnosis, found oil light to be on when engine is warm, causing engine noise on idle. Essentially, the insurer came back and said, here's the evidence, it is not an accident issue. And so Paul Lebo had to then spend in the region of 19,000 Rand to get that issue sorted out, repaired. So his
He's
car's
still on
running.
the line with us, by the way.
Yes, Lebo, hi. So you confirmed to me this morning off air that at least it was one small outcome, and that what's supposed to happen is that if an accident was not your fault, it was the other party's fault, you have to pay your excess up front. And then the idea is that your insurer will then claim that excess amount from the insurer of the other party. In this case, it was the same company, so you'd think it would be simple, but it didn't happen. So it has happened now since I took up the case, and Dalderic says we acknowledge that this delay is unacceptable, and we've addressed it with the team. Lebo now has his vehicle. So I normally, Jane, we like the win and we go, rah, rah, fantastic. But
absolutely,
I think it was important to share this case. It went on for a while, and this is quite normal. It's a frustration, of I can't, as an independent third-party journalist sitting miles away from the incident, say, well, that assessment had to be wrong. The oil pump had to have been damaged in the accident, because I don't have anything on which to base that. I have to go with what I'm given. And unfortunately, for Lebo, the decision went against him in this case. But at least, Lebo, you have some closure at last. The issue has now come to a conclusion, right?
Lebo?
Hello, Jen.
Yeah.
Wendy's asking you a question if there's some sort of conclusion.
Yeah, I said it's
okay.
not what you wanted, but it finally, at least the whole case has come to a conclusion, and you had to pay an amount, but you have your car, and is it looking and driving properly now? Are you happy with at least how the car is operating for you?
No. I'm happy with the car, how the Hyundai actually worked on the issues. It's okay. Although I have to spend a lot of money on that matter, Joanne, which I'm 100% positive that part, incident was caused by accident. So, but it's fine. As I'm unable actually to state, even the dealer was difficult for them actually to say this could be part of the accident. I knew that thing was not there before, but it's fine. The car is okay. I'm driving it. I'm happy. All sorted. No more problems now. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Lebo.
Thank you, Lebo.
Yes. No, thanks very much, John. Thank very Nola for all the effort you taken to assist on that matter.
You're most welcome. Sorry it wasn't the outcome you were looking for exactly, but
so Wendy, maybe talk more about what sort of evidence that insurers need from you.
Well, the problem is that the average person is not an expert on, the mechanical workings of a motor vehicle. So Lebo's convinced, because the engine light came on, it wasn't there before the accident, and it was there afterwards. To his mind, it had to have been linked. I can't say he's right or he's wrong, because I haven't got an independent expert of my choosing to go and do an investigation. So the insurer is providing the reports that came from the Monday and from the panel beater to say this is a wear and tear issue for these reasons, it comes on under these conditions, and it wasn't affected. So I can't say whether Lebo was right and they were, all those parties wanting to deny him a justified claim, or whether it was one of those awful coincidences that the light, this part in a oil pump in a 9-year-old car chose after the accident to actually come on. I mean, it's just one of those. I mean, I sympathize with the motor industry, but their teams. I mean, they're all technical experts, whatever they go into these cases. But these are the kinds of issues that that make these cases often so complicated, because you have he said, she said, the owner of the car remains adamant that it's A, and the insurer or the dealership, as the case may be, would say actually it's not, and there you sit. It's really, really tricky.
Claim is denied. I mean, is there a particular route that you should take? Is there a one-stop shop way that you should be dealing with this?
Yes, absolutely. There is free recourse. You could lodge a complaint with what used to be called the short-term insurance ombudsman, is now the short-term or non-life division of the National Financial Ombud Scheme, and they will require the details. Members already, documented them, and could submit a complaint, and the adjudicators will weigh it up and come up with a finding. So there is that, and you have nothing to lose from going that. So that's definitely something that Lebo could consider if he remains absolutely adamant about the fact that it had to have been linked to the accident, the oil pump damage. Yeah.
I mean, the problem with cars for so many people is that, what do we know about it, right?
Exactly.
What do we know about what's under the bonnet? Clement's on the line from Midrand. He's got a battery problem. Go ahead, Clement.
Yes. Thank you for taking my call. What happens to me is that I bought this car battery from this car part dealer shop. So now it's hardly a year. So the car battery is giving problems. So knowing that the battery takes 2-year guarantee, and that's what they told me when I bought the battery, I returned the battery from where I bought it. And when I arrived there, they said, no, we're going to check the battery, and then we're going to test it, see if it's fine or there's any problem. They did that, and then they told me, no, the battery's working very fine. Maybe my car's not charging the battery. Okay, fine. I took the car to the mechanic to check if it's charging very well. And then they checked it and said, no, it's charging very well. So when I arrived back to the shop, and they told me, no, there's nothing they can do, as they told me, the battery's working very fine. So there's nothing they can do, even if the mechanic confirmed that the battery charging very fine. So I was asking if there's anything that can assist me on that regard.
Okay. Clement, as always with these cases, it boils down to who could provide the proof. Have you considered going to a battery center and asking them to do a report on whether the battery is operating as it should or not?
Yes, but I did go to battery center. It's only the one battery center I go to, and I went with the slips and showed that there's a printout that shows that the battery is not charging. In fact, they told me it's like when I come back to work, when I switch off the car, next morning I won't start it. It's like the battery power depletes during the night, and then when I drive during the day, it charges. But when I park the car, when I start tomorrow going to work, it won't start. It's like the battery power depletes during the night, something like that. They told me something like that. Yes.
Okay, so you have that report. You have something in writing that says that.
Yes, I do. I do have the slip that says that where the battery shop where I tested it.
Okay, and you didn't buy the battery from that outlet. You bought it from somewhere else, and they're saying the battery, it's fine. We're not doing anything. Is that the case?
Yeah, I did test the batteries to the other battery center, yes.
Okay, here's what I suggest. I mean, the battery, as far as I'm aware, they're normally warranted for 5 years, right? You should get 5 years use out of a battery. They're not cheap items. Is that right? 5 years?
Yes, for me, they told me it's 2 years, but now it's hardly a year. And then Yeah,
Okay, so
yes. That's what I was told. Yes.
Either way, it's not lasting. It's malfunctioning within the warranty period. So the only thing I can suggest now for you, Clement, is for you to email me, including that little report that says the battery's not functioning properly. Give me details of the place where you bought it. If you can give me an email address, that will save me time, and I will go to them and ask them for comment, because this doesn't sound like you've been shortchanged on this battery. If it's depleting during the night, well, that's definitely not fit for purpose anymore.
Okay, yes, fine.
Okay,
thanks, I'll do so.
All right.
Yes, all right.
Okay, thank you very much
Clement.
for that call, Clement. It's 2:30. Time for the news headlines.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon. The case against 2 teenagers accused of attacking 3 DA MPs in Philippi has been postponed to next week. On Tuesday, Parliament's Police Committee Chairperson Ian Cameron, NCOP member Nicholas Gotzel and the DA spokesperson on policing Lisa Schickering were involved in what could have been an attempted smash and grab or hijacking. National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza has come to the defense of Parliament's legal advisers who have come under heavy criticism from members of the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Didiza says she's noted with concern remarks made this week by some MPs during proceedings of the committee investigating allegations of corruption in the criminal justice system. And the Gauteng government has promised to address issues raised by some Soweto residents attending the G20 Summit Awareness Program today. The residents who gathered at the Diepkloof Community Hall criticized government, saying they have been excluded from the G20 preparations. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Devland, heading into Eldorado Park, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic due to roadworks on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. Also driving through the Four Ways area, slow-moving traffic on Winnie Mandela Drive between Witkoppen and the N1. Otherwise, the highway is not looking too bad. No major delays or accidents have been reported. Just look out for those faulty traffic lights in Rand Park Bridge at Bayes Nodia and the N1, as well as in the Midrand area at Olifantsfontein Road and the N1. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Sunday.
A day to exhale.
To breathe in the melody.
Unwind with Soulful Sundays on 702.
Kenny May Street starts your day.
With smooth R&B and timeless classics from 10 a.m.
At 2 p.m.
Hoshaza Sidia keeps the good vibes flowing with rich, soulful sounds.
And as the night sets in, let Lutemba Madumo
take you on a journey with jazz and beyond
from 6 to 9 p.m.
Soulful Sundays.
Relax, unwind,
and let the music move you.
Only on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We are also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comments, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we are not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. Email bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates' timeless wisdom reminds us of the power of introspection. At Plus 94 Research, we delve deep into data, uncovering insights that drive meaningful decisions. Our scientific methodologies transform questions into clarity. Don't just operate, understand. Don't just guess, know. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision making.
Coming up
on 702 Drive.
Is Tabo.
Yeah, bro.
What's happening? Quite a busy day, right?
Quite a busy day. Good afternoon to Jane and to the listeners. We have a busy day. 400 million rand worth of drugs were destroyed today, and that initiative was led by the police commissioner, Fani Masemula. Will touch on that with our journalist from EWN, Mongezi Koko. We will also look into the issue of human informal settlements in and around Gauteng, generally throughout the country, as Salga is working on that. But we really want to press the Minister of Human Settlements on that. What upgrades are planned? What are the time frames around that? The issues of safety, the issues of property evaluation. It's quite a very intense story, and it needs to be treated with an element of sensitivity because a number of people are without homes in South Africa. So how do we deal with informal settlements? Some of these settlements are placed in very dangerous areas, and we wake up to them only when a disaster has struck, and that's when they make news headlines, Jane. So we want to touch a little bit on that on the show today. Also, we have a usual feature called Your House, Your Home. We are looking into the phenomena of damp walls. What do you do when you have damp walls around your home? Jane, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? I know you are going to say, gorgeous, beautiful lady.
Time in the morning.
But that's one of our talkers on a lighter note. We are saying that when you're looking into the mirror, you are getting a misplaced impression of yourself. Actually, you don't look as good as your eyes tell you, as much as the image that you see on the mirror. So meaning that you are looking at yourself with subjective eyes.
Yep.
You are not as beautiful. You're not as handsome. In real life, you are lesser than what your mirror tells you. And so we will be we'll be touching on that, and we'll be asking you, are you a 1 or are you a 10 when you look at yourself in a mirror? So all of that and more between 3 and 6.
702.
Nola knows.
So we've got Nola Wendy on the line. And Wendy, I've got a message for you from Welcome saying, why is it that comprehensive cover doesn't cover wheels and tyres when damaged through potholes, and yet legally we can claim from municipalities? Shouldn't insurance cover this and claim directly from municipalities for the cost?
You'd have to ask an insurer that. That's just the way it goes. And something else I could warn you about is that if you hire a car, even if you take their advice and take out the wheel or tire cover, it doesn't cover the thing that you're probably most of happening. If you have a car with those covers on the wheels, we call them hubcaps.
Yes.
And that is replacing them. And when if they get stolen, it's a lot of money. I get quite a few of these complaints, believe it or not. So the advice is you should take them off, put them in the boot. No, really, it's a thing, Jane. It's a thing. It's a thing. But yes, with
and why don't we call them hubcaps anymore?
I don't know why we don't. Usually we're of a certain generation. Now they're called wheel covers. I don't know. No. Hubcaps works for me. But yes, I mean, I didn't even connect the two sort of. Oh yes, those are hubcaps. But yeah, don't hire a car with hubcaps and they go to a shopping centre or whatever, especially in Gauteng, because you're very likely to have come back out and see bare hubs. Yeah. But yeah, the insurance doesn't cover tyres. They're not a moving. Let me not guess at why, but just to know that is the reality. If you hit a pothole, theoretically you can claim from the municipality concerned. But for them to have been liable, they had to have not acted on a complaint from a citizen to say this pothole needs to be repaired. That's why we should all do our citizens' duty and report them so that they can't say, but we didn't know.
I've got a friend who's got one outside her house. I mean, the plants are growing out of it. It's like a Garden of Eden, but it's not. And I think she's been complaining for about 4 years, and it's still not fixed.
I know. As I said that, I thought the listeners are going, oh, yeah, sure, like they're going to come the next day and fix the bottle. But I'm just putting it up there how it's supposed to work.
Let's listen to this voice note from Selma.
Good afternoon. This is Selma of Roodepoort. A battery that is supposedly tested okay and then runs down during the night can often be because of a not functioning alternator, because the alternator is supposed to recharge the battery when you drive. But if your alternator doesn't work properly, it's going to run on your battery. That happened to me. Even though the battery had nothing wrong, it turns out it was the alternator. So I think they should check the alternator first for that person with the problem with the battery. Thanks for a lovely show. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Selma.
It's a lady who knows her stuff.
Yes, and she's talking about Clement's complaint. He's saying, but the thing that doesn't gel with that is that he said he took the battery to a battery specialist outlet, and they tested the battery and found that it was problematic, unless I understood him incorrectly. But let's see when I get his email. That'll be something for me to consider on reading it and trying to decide what the course of action is. So thank you so much, Selma, for phoning in with that suggestion.
If anyone wants to ask Wendy a question, you can call us on 011-883-0702. We're talking about cars at the moment, but as you know, Wendy's able to respond to most of your consumer queries, most of your consumer concerns. You can also WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702. What else do you think we need to know about when it comes to cars and insurance and how we can protect ourselves?
Okay, Jane, I want to make this as simple as possible. I get a lot of complaints from people who file third-party insurance claims, and they think that it's going to work the same as if they had a policy and this was their insurer and they're going to get paid out as they would in case maybe mine is an excess or something. And it doesn't work like that at all. These aren't insurance claims. The law of delict applies, which means if you're saying to an insurance company, your client caused the accident and you need to pay for my damages, you A, need to prove it, and B, they are going to apply what's called an apportionment of blame. So even if you were, someone skipped a red robot or cut in front of you or whatever they did, and some of them even admitted on the scene, which the insurers always tell us not to do. But even if that was the case, they will apportion some of the blame to you, 10%, 20%, 40% is not unusual, and say that you failed to keep a proper lookout, even though the other person did something wrong. If you'd been paying attention, you could have taken steps to avoid the accident. And then what they do is they reduce your payout, let's call it that, by 40% or 30%. And then they make you 40, 30%, whatever, responsible for their client's damages. And so they do the sums, and you're left with just about nothing. So this is especially for people who have their own insurance and think, it's not fair. I'm not claiming on my insurance. It wasn't my fault. I'm not paying the excess. I'm not losing out on my no-claim bonus. So I'm going to claim on the other guy's insurance.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, but A, it will take many, many more months than it would if you just went to your own insurer, and you will get far, far, far less than you would out if you went to your own insurer. So although it's terribly unfair, that's what you have insurance for, and please do that. And for those who don't have insurance, don't think that, well, first of all, only about 33% of cars on the road are insured. So don't think, oh, well, the other guy will have insurance, I'll lodge a third-party claim. They may not have insurance, and even if they do, you're going to get an absolute pittance out of it. So I really need people to understand how third-party claims work. It's not the safety net that you think it is.
No, clearly. All right, let's go over to Rachel. She's on the line. She's been signed into a funeral cover without her consent. Rachel, that sounds horrific.
All right. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Rachel. Go ahead.
Okay, my problem is that I've been signed on a funeral cover without my knowledge. The moment I realized that I do have this funeral cover is when they started deducting the money from my account. I went to their offices to inquire. They promised to investigate and the money was refunded. The next month it happened again. I went there, they said they will investigate. Nothing happened up until I closed up the account and took out my money. Now I'm getting the message that I'm going to be blacklisted because I'm defaulting on a legal contract. So I didn't even know I have this funeral cover with this company. Now I'm being threatened of being blacklisted. How can I clear my name?
Okay. First of all, Rachel, were you able to see who the beneficiaries of that policy that was taken out in your name?
No, I didn't check the beneficiaries.
Okay. So would you mind naming the company?
Come again?
Which company is involved in this matter with the funeral cover?
I was told not to disclose the name, but it's one of the banks, big banks.
Okay. So I only asked because I've got a case with Old Mutual where somebody had,
Yeah, that's the very same one. I'm sorry. That's the very same one.
Are you the person who wrote to me? No. No, you're not. Unless you've changed your name. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I've taken up a case with that, with another company, and I've got a response that I'm not happy with at all. I've just been told we're still investigating. We're not going to give the details. In this case, there were 3 beneficiaries that the person didn't know, so clearly fraud. So I'm pushing back hard to say it's not an acceptable response, and I would like to have some details. And that's just been going on in the last 24 hours. That's why I thought, what's happening here? But please, especially in the case of these big corporations, financial entities selling funeral cover, if there's a case of fraud, they really need to be dealing with it appropriately. So I urge you very strongly, given that I've already got a case that I'm dealing with at the moment, to send me an email, Rachel, and give me all the details that you could possibly give me. So your ID number, the details around the policy, and what you've just told us a little earlier in terms of what happened when you reported it. And I will promise you I will take it up as soon as possible. So the sooner you can send me the email, the sooner I can get cracking on that, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rachel. Thank you for calling in. John, I know that you're hanging on. We're going to take your call after this.
Johannesburg, the Tribute to Women show is here. Join us on the 24th of August at Marks Park in Emerentia as we honor 31 years of democracy and the incredible contributions of women in South Africa. Featuring an all-star lineup, Keisha White, Ami Faku, Thandiswa Mazwai, Loyiso, and more. Get your tickets now at webtickets.co.za. The Tribute to Women show, proudly presented by Shea Entertainment.
Style is personal, and your boutique or designer understands that. They bring you pieces that turn heads, fit perfectly, and make you feel like your best self. From everyday wear to special occasions, they make shopping an experience. Now's your chance to say, I see you. Vote for them as Gauteng's greatest boutique designer at primemediaplus.com. Voting closes on the 27th of August. Make it count, because Gauteng isn't just the hub of business, it's the home of excellence, and excellence deserves your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards at 702, powered by Yoko.
Tip your way to glory in the Hollywood Bets Punters Challenge, the free-to-play horse racing game with daily cash giveaways and massive jackpot prizes. Pick all the winners on the race card and you could win 100,000 Rand. Bet 50 Rand or more on your selections using the Bet Slip feature and you could walk away with 1 million Rand. Visit punterschallenge.hollywoodbets.net today and tip your way to the top. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
It all starts with FNB Private. With secure, easy payments for a hassle-free overseas holiday. Tap, swipe, or go digital with your FNB Visa cards. Earn rewards when using your FNB credit card or global account debit and virtual card. You can even fund your global account on the FNB app while traveling. Make the most of every moment. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TCs, earn rules and limits apply.
702.
Nolan knows.
Our consumer feature, and John from Midrand has been on the line. Thanks for holding on for us, John. And tell us about your insurance problem.
Hi, Jane, and hi, Wendy.
Hi, John.
It's Joseph.
Joseph. Oh, sorry about that.
Yes, yeah. My case is against an insurance company. on the 3rd of Jan 2023, I was driving between Pongola and Umkondo, and I hit a pothole. The car jumped a bit and it landed. And after driving 10 kilometers, it started heating. And I drove slowly to the place of safety, which was a gas station. I asked the guys at the gas station to open and see what was happening. They said my car was heating up. I called my broker. My broker said I must take the car to the nearest Bosch to be checked. Got to Bosch. They opened the bonnet, and they said that the car was not drivable. I could not drive the car from there to Johannesburg because I was driving to Johannesburg. So I called the broker back, and she said that I must leave the car. She got a parked towed it. I don't know where they towed it to, and they got a hired car for me to come to Johannesburg. 6 weeks down the line, following up, there was no response from the insurance to tell me what was happening about the car. After 8 weeks, then I decided to get my car. I phoned the broker. I told the broker I decided to get my car because I couldn't stand that the car was there for 2 months. When I towed the car, it cost me 15,000 to get it here. When it got here, all the engine parts were in the boot. Stripped off, and I then said, they argued that when they did the assessment, a flange had come out like a pipe. So they're arguing that it's wear and tear. All right, that argument, then I thought I was not going to get that right. Then I asked the insurance to at least put the car back in the situation that I left it. Because when I left my car, it was drivable. So until today, I'm still struggling with that.
Oh, my word. I thought you were going to say that they didn't want to cover you because you carried on driving, and by doing that you caused damage to the car. I get a few of those. So in this case, I mean, you said this was in 2023, right? In
Yes.
January. So we're talking 2.5 years.
It's 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Sorry, 1.5 years.
Yes.
So if you said it was January 2023, isn't that 2.5 years? There's something wrong with my maths. Anyway, so I'm going to have to see this in writing, I'm afraid, Joseph, because I can't comment without doing an investigation, giving the insurance company the right of reply. You basically, I mean, if a car is sitting in pieces and not being driven, it's pretty much a write-off because of, the car needs to be, all the parts are going to start decaying, etc., without any use. So this is a very, very tricky case. What would you ideally want to happen now? What do you think is the fairest response? And when did you last speak to your insurance company about this?
I'm actually speaking to my legal representative. I've spoken to NFO. They are not assisting me. So when the car got here, I took it to a retail motor industry accredited person because that's what they said I must do. The person assessed the car and they said it was about 94,000 rand to put the car back, to put the car parts back. And then the insurance company gave me 12,000 rand to do that. And I said, but this is madness. So I just want them to put my car back in the condition that I left it. because then they are saying the car overheated because of the of wind here. I'm saying it's okay. Then it was a small pipe that they showed me. So for them to actually come back to me in 2 months or 6 weeks, actually it means that the person that actually stripped the car off was incompetent, because the pipe that had broken, it's a very small pipe. So you can strip the whole engine just to get to that pipe. The pipe was at the top of the engine as well.
Okay, gosh, this is I rest my case in terms of how complicated car cases can be. So I would like to see what you have in writing. You obviously have documented everything, Joseph. If you could forward that to me, I'll take a look. Okay.
I'll send you all the communication, everything else. I've got a folder.
Good luck, Joseph.
Okay.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
Thank you. Sharon, tell us what's happened to you. You've been sued for unpaid rates.
Hi there, it's actually Joe. Sorry, I should have corrected. Thank you for taking my call. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Joe.
The background is that for a while now, I was contacted by a municipality to say that my rates are in arrears for a property that I don't own. It's in a trust, but that's a minor detail. It's not directly owned by me, but the trust doesn't own it either. So I replied to the municipality to say I don't own this property. That went on for a period of time. And during that period of time, we took some active steps to go to the deeds office and also to the rates office of the said municipality. Deeds office hasn't replied with proof of title deeds to show that indeed this asset is owned by the trust, and the rates office wasn't able to answer any of the questions that I had. But so left it like that because it wasn't winning in those two respects. But now the latest communication has been from lawyers appointed by the municipality to take legal action for unpaid rates. So, the latest correspondence was simply replying back to the lawyers to say, as consistent for the last 2 years or so, this property is not owned by the trust. I'm not aware of acquiring this property. And please, can you provide the title deeds? And there hasn't been a reply. So I'm just wondering, what else can I do if the deeds office is just slow to respond and the rates that, the officers of the said municipality, the people kind of behind the window there were kind of not able to assist either.
Deal with it. Most of the people we consumers get to deal with are only qualified to say no, not yes. So my job involves mainly going leapfrogging through to the media people to say, and they get to the people who can say yes. That's really a summary of what I do, Joe. So is this, if I'm understanding you correctly, this is a complete administrative mistake. The trust that you're a part of has never owned that property, the property in question, and thus it's never been liable to pay rates. Is that correct?
Correct. Well, it could be two things. Either there's been some sort of fraud, which I sincerely doubt, because you need, the trustees to all sign off, and somebody could fraudulently acquire that property in the name of the trust, but why would anyone do that? Alternatively, it's just an administrative mistake at the deeds office that has gone on for 2.5 years and is now ending up in some sort of legal process, which I'm not keen to have to incur legal costs to defend myself against. Okay. Why don't you send an email to me, attach the letter that you've sent to the attorneys acting on behalf of that municipality, and give a short summary as you've just said now, and specifically ask me to investigate on your behalf. Otherwise, I suspect the whole Poppy Act thing will come up as a justification for not dealing with me. And I will say this is, the issue has come up. No municipality was named, etc. But I'm
Wendy,
now
can you
intrigued
remind
by
us
this
of
case.
your email address, please?
Sure. It's consumer@nola.co.za. You can go to my website, which is wendynola.coza, because there's a form that I've created there that prompts listeners to give me all the information that I need to act without having to go backwards and forwards asking for more information.
Wendy Nola, thanks as always.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front-of-package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front-of-package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by 30 September.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3731. I'm really struggling to explain my parents to my therapist. Might send him to live with them so he can see for himself. What if he ends up in therapy too? Wait, what if they love him more than me?
Finally learning about mental health. Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's convenient and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
It is 3 o'clock. Time for the news. See you again tomorrow.
This is EWN.
Masemola remains mum on legal battle with Sibiya, and the case against 2 Cape teens has been postponed to next week. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says he will not respond to claims by his